everyone, it is Mona here at Craft Klatch, and today is Friday. That means it's another Coaster Friday. Today we're going to do some shark-themed coasters in honor of Shark Week. For this project, I have 4 ceramic tiles, and I just bought them at Home Depot. And I just cleaned them off with a little rubbing alcohol just so that there's no oils or smudges or anything on top. Basically what we're going to do is kind of stencil them. And I'm going to use my Cricut to cut out some shark images. But you can also use ready-made stencils. You can make your own stencils by cutting them out of contact paper, or you can just use some stickers that you find just to make any kind of interesting design. It could be a shark, it could be any design at all. I'm going to do sharks just because that happens to be my thing. And then I cut my images out using my Cricut. Once I have the images cut out, I'm going to pull this part off, and I'm going to put it right here on one of the tiles. I'm going to try to get it nice and centered on here. Once it's on, you can burnish it down nicely. Make sure you get all the edges down. There's a bubble here or there, I don't care as long as it's not along the edge. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, and there's a couple of details on this tooth that I'd like to include. And I'm going to eyeball it. So this one is ready to go. And you can see the bubbles underneath here. That doesn't matter. Again, only make sure that your edges here and out here are nice and down. You can rub down on here if the bubbles are there. It doesn't matter for this particular application. It will have no impact on it at all. So now I'm left with this piece. So we're kind of going to have a positive and a negative of the image. That's what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to take this vinyl piece, try to center it, and then burnish it down too. Now I'm going to do the same with the shark jaw. And the tricky thing with this one is to get the inside of the jaw out. And where it needs to be. Then we have our little accent pieces. And if you want, you could put a piece of paper over it so you don't end up catching any of the little pieces and ruining them. I didn't use a transfer tape on the other ones, but I do want to do it for the teeth because it's kind of hard to keep in shape. And I can't do transfer tape on both parts. Like I can do it on either the outer part or the inner part, but I can't do it on both without having to cut it twice. So I would rather do the transfer tape on this part than the other part. So I want to make sure I get my image covered with the transfer tape. Rub it down. Okay, so there it is. Now I'm going to center it as best I can, and then I'm going to burnish it down. Now that I have the images on there, I'm going to take them out to the garage and do a little spray painting. The paint has dried enough for me to take this off, so I want to do it carefully. And I do want to let you know, I did leave, when I cut my image, I did leave it so there would be a border around it. You could go further so there wouldn't be, but I wanted it to be that way. So there's the shark tooth. And you want to carefully pull off just like that. And here it is. Now I'm going to do the opposite one. And look what a nice clean image we have. So now we have a set of shark teeth coasters. We want to let this completely dry. So whatever your spray paint directions say, do that. And you can either leave it, because this should be a durable enough paint to be able to stay on there. If it's not, or if you want to give it extra protection, I would suggest doing like the Mod Podge dishwasher safe. And I'm going to use that in an upcoming video. But you can use that. We're going to do the shark mouth now. And there's the shark teeth, the shark jaw. And here are the shark jaw coasters. So here are the coasters all finished, and you can just use them as decorative displays, or you can use them as coasters. And again, if you're worried for whatever reason that the paint's not going to hold up, go ahead and put a protective coat over it. Otherwise, here it is. It could not be easier, and they could not be cooler. I hope you like the tile coasters with sharks. I'm going to try a couple more tile coasters as well, just because not everybody has the ability to use resin. And yes, you can try to put a resin coat over the tile and see how that works out. So be sure to let me know what you think of them down in the comments below, and I will definitely see you next time. Remember, life is too short not to shimmer, so grab your glue gun and your glitter. Stay safe. Bye, guys.